Welcome back to Venus Kutum. We are having another session, but this session is not the thing that I look forward. I always look forward to hear from you. I feel very happy to respond to you whenever you send a query. It is my heartfelt pleasure to connect with you all in individual capacity and together as a group. So today we are here going to talk about certain very elementary aspects in the field of law. But at the same time, this is not an aspect which pertains to field of law only. These aspects are planning your struggle. Who are those people who succeed and do not struggle? Can you tell me any one of them? You may think that someone has with a large amount of background in their, bank balance, background, big backgrounds. They may not have a struggle, but mind it, even those people have a struggle. The only difference that is there is the struggle may be little lesser, little more. But all those people who go to success, who go to achieve success in their lives, there is some sort of a struggle that everyone has. So first, bias that we need to remove from our own mind, that if we are not from a privileged background, in that case, the bias which has to be removed is that because I am not from a privileged background, so therefore I have to struggle more. So therefore, the God has to help me more. So we can't have that kind of attitude or thought process. So every one of us, whether we are from the privileged background or we are from a very docile or simple background, we all have to struggle. What comes as a handy notation for all this to achieve success is how we plan our struggle. I'll shoot a very small story in a very small town of Argentina. There was a young boy which was born with a very difficult proposition. He had a big dream to play football. He liked and he loved football. At the age of 6 and 7, he was discovered that there was a problem in his body. So when his father took him to the football club, so he could not be, he was trying his best, but at the same time there was some sort of difficulty that the coach felt. So the coach confronted the family. What is the difficulty? That the boy is not able to perform, though he is so enthusiastic. The parents told him that he is having growth hormone problem, that his growth hormones are not functioning properly as they are required. So that's it. So then in that case, the coach said, then how could he play football? Because it is a sport. You need high growth in terms of your body, in terms of your caliber. So this guy remained in that growth hormone problem, but because he had decided that he will play football and he will not leave it, so he did whatever. I'm not going to go into the details of that struggle because everyone will have to struggle, but all cannot conquer. Only those who are focused, who dream to achieve it, they achieve it. And therefore they overcome their struggle. They plan their struggle and they overcome it. So this guy, can anyone guess about it? Who this guy was? This guy was Lionel Messi. Messi has a massive problem, massive physical problem, and he overcame that struggle. Another such example, if I may say, not of struggle, but at the same time about the dream that I want to talk about, that how do you overcome the struggle? You overcome the struggle by way of dream. When he won the World Championship and then World Cup, so the question that was asked to him, to Messi, so did you ever dream of winning the World Cup? The Messi answered that I only dream this that I will win the World Cup. So the dream has an intrinsic value. Whatever lacuna, whatever deficiency, difficulty that we face, the dream has the ability to conquer against those difficulties, lacuna, and difficulty. So dream Dreams have a perceptive base of reality, and yet they are dreams, because those dreams which come true are those dreams which are seen when you are awake. So therefore I said perceptive reality. Dreams which you see when you are awake, when you go for it, when you try to achieve, when you think, when you make yourself amenable to achieve. How do you make yourself amenable to achieve it? By trying to overcome your own problems, your lacunas, your difficulties, and working on the possible solutions. So I was talking about one such instance with regard to someone came out just like that. At that time, I have been playing tennis for quite some time. So I was really watching tennis and at the same time while playing it. So we all know Federer reigned the tennis for a very long period of time. We all also know that after Federer, it was only Nadal. So Nadal beat him. The at that time. But then one guy came out, and he was a young guy. He said, "I will beat both Nadal and Federer. Become number one." Everyone must have thought, okay, means he is not there at all. But then this guy, after a few years, he beat both of them, and he remained the maximum. He may remain there for a maximum period as number one. It means there is no price for guessing. This is Djokovic from Serbia. So Djokovic openly challenged. He made his dream open to the public. But merely seeing dream is good enough. Merely challenging someone, the top seeded Federer, the top seeded Nadal, was good enough? No. Preparation. Djokovic also planned his struggle. How to become number one? How to beat those? So that was his struggle at that time, because he had challenge. So it was his dream. So we connect struggle. Struggle is directly proportional to dream, directly proportional also to the base of reality, which means your interest, capability, and skill. So you have to understand what is your interest, what is your capability, what are your skills. If all those combine together, you achieve your optimality in preparation, then in that case, that dream can certainly be achieved. So therefore, the point is how to plan your struggle means essentially you first of all need to notify what is that area that interests you in law. What are the capable areas? Suppose you are a very good writer. Suppose you are very good framers of argument. Suppose you are a very good person who argues a lot. So you will know that what interests you, what are your capabilities, what are your skill sets. So work on all of them and then make a dream. Having the perception having the perspective of your own skill set, and then building a dream with an open eye can certainly land you in success. But if suppose your capabilities lie in X work and you desire to do Y work and be successful in Y work, which is totally or diametrically opposite to X work, you won't succeed. So there has to be correlation, there has to be correlation between what you desire and what you are capable of. So that's very important thing, to align your interests, align your capability and skills with the dream that you are seeing today. And you must see the dream. You must see your dream vividly with open eye. And then align these skill sets. After you see this, you need to see what are the problems which are there, which may fall. You have to contemplate two sets of problems. One set of problems is which are there right now. Another set of problems which will occur when you go for your dream. So that's where we call it vision. So vision orientation is very, very important, that you can foresee something which may fall in future. So the capability of foresee comes only when you want to see. If you are closed eye, you don't want to see, you won't see it. But the moment you start thinking, maybe you do not achieve that foreseeing as today, but maybe after 2 months. But the ability is developed only upon a desire. So you must desire, okay, these are the problems which are occurring in my space at this stage, which are to be overcome to achieve this set of dream which I have. And then there is another set of problems which will fall in future, which you have to contemplate with your skill, with your foresighting. So you combine both the set of problems and understand how I can overcome. So that's where you start building a possible solution chart. Okay, this is my problem area and this is my solution chart. Work on each problem daily basis and work on the contemplated solution area. The solutions will come to your mind. Some will come immediately, some will come in after a while, some will come after a few months maybe, but they will come. But your problem statement should be kept there in writing. Similarly, your solution statement should be correspondingly in writing in the same page. So once you balance out the problem and the solution, that's where you started working. And once you start working, that's where we say that you have to practice with discipline. Now that I am thorough with my problem area, the problems can be pertaining to my own skill set. The problems can be pertaining to my surroundings, pertaining to my, my availability of resources to me. There can be wide variety of problems. So you work on the possible solution to those problems. Once you have the problem and solution statement, then you work on execution. Now, execution has to be done with a certain discipline. Because if suppose you do not understand what you are doing and you are not disciplined in your execution plan, then in that case you won't achieve the success. So the execution has to be worked in a manner which is well planned and has to be in discipline. You may want to do X thing. You may want to watch a movie instead of doing the work which is part of your execution plan. But then you have to compromise on that part. So whatever you decide, you build a character around you. Whatever you decide to achieve it, if that character is strong, you will achieve it. If that character becomes weak, then you won't achieve it. So to achieve the very basic dream that you are seeing, you have to execute with full force, as if there is nothing in your life except doing this, what you want to do. So unless you put entire force into the system, you don't achieve what you want to achieve. So achieving the success is not just one stop. Success will keep on coming in several measures, in so many different measures. So you will accomplish one small task, thereafter you will accomplish another small task, thereafter you will accomplish third small task. You will combine so many hundreds of small tasks. Somewhere there's a bigger task that you have achieved. Okay, 101 first task is big task. Now there is 1,000. The 1,000 number of tasks is big task. So there are n number of tasks which you may perform on day-to-day basis, yearly basis, and then once you have the habit to achieve success, even in small parts, whatever you desire, whatever you design for yourself, that yes, I will achieve success, you go to achieve success despite failure. Failures will not stop you. So failures are bound to come. Einstein, when he made the bulb, He attempted 11,000 more than 11,000 times. That means he failed 11 more than 11,000 times. And after that, he achieved success. So, what if you fail in completing or accomplishing a task several times? Nothing bad. Failure only teaches us. Because success never teaches us. We only celebrate the success, we don't learn from the success. Mind it. Very few people will learn from success. It is only the celebrated mind that learns from the failures. So you need to learn from your failures. We all need to learn from our failures. I have learned a lot from my own failures. Those became the milestones or stepping stones for me to go to the higher heights, to go to do better what I was doing a day before. So this way you would be able to, garner or prepare yourself to achieve success. India had won 1983 World Cup, and before that it was a totally underdog. There was no space that India would be counted as it like Nepal is playing today in some Asia Cup. So it is an underdog in front of India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So despite that, did India win 1983 World Cup by chance? How many of would you believe that it was by chance? I won't believe it by chance because there is a certain set of preparation which is always required. You create the matter in your mind that yes, I will do it. Yes, I will achieve it. Come whatever, I will. You may fail, but don't think of failure at that time when you are planning your excursion to win. So there should be no doubt. Prepare your mind. Yes, I will. At the relevant time, doubts should be only presented to your mind when you are preparing. But when you are at it, you should not be doubtful. That's another very important area. We all must know and confront it. Doubt should be, while you are preparing, should be there so that you could prepare well. What if I fail? Then I have to ask, what if? This what if has to be segregated into several parts. How will I fail? I need to work on that statement as well. What all may happen against me that I will fail? I need to work on that statement. How to overcome that failure? That has to be also part of the statement. So that means when I'm preparing, that is the time I contemplate my failure and see where will I fall, what are my deficiencies, what are my weaknesses, where the opponent will be strong and will take me on or down me. But when you are at it, have no doubt. Because if you have doubt at that time, you will fail. You are bound to. But if you do not have any doubt, you are bound to even, fail the career against you. So this is what the power of mind is. So you must need to understand your own power. You must recognize your own strength, the power of your own mind, and also the power of doubt. Even the best of the people, even the strongest of the people fail because of the doubt, self-doubt, or doubt at the right time. We must doubt. I understand, but when is the time to doubt and when is the time not to doubt? That is very much relevant. So you must have this timing correct. When you would have timing correct, then there would be no way that anyone can fail you. There's no way that you can fail yourself. In life, I have seen so many different dimensions, different instruments. Few things have worked very well for me. Few formulas which I have told even to my son when he was only 3 years, and so many years back I thought he would get. What will I do? Means if suppose tomorrow I'm not there, what is the legacy that I'm going to bring to my son that he will remember me? And he was only 2.5 years or 3 years by then. So I thought, okay, this is what my belief is. So I told him my belief in 5 words. And I, acronymed it into Pepsi 2, PEPCC. Pepsi 2, we are not a, ardent drinker of Pepsis. or colas. We usually don't drink those things. We are into fresh coconut water, fresh lime, or something, but not aerated drinks or not the canned drinks at all. So nonetheless, this Pepsi 2 really worked when my son learned it, and then he also told me to my younger son afterwards. So Pepsi 2 is patience, endurance, power, compassion, and courage. PEPCC, patience, endurance, power, compassion, courage. These are the virtues of an individual who goes for success and achieves success. If you have the patience, you develop the patience in you. You develop the endurance in you. You develop the power inside you. You also develop compassion. And most of all is courage. Because so many times, every time, there is always some doubt coming in your mind, some fear coming in your mind. How do you take away? What is the antidote of fear? It is the courage. Yes, I will do it. So yes, I can do it. Yes, I will do it. That fortifies the courage. So once you achieve this state of mind, where you have the patience, where your body, your mind has the endurance, where you have the mind power and bodily power, where you have the compassion for people around you, even for those people whom you don't even know, and you have the courage that spells your own fear. There's no one stopping you from achieving any success, any kind of success. So apart from this, self-discipline, self-regulation is very, very important. Reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your surrounding is very, very important step. So if you do that with open mind, without any bias, prejudice in your mind, you will achieve the fruits of success very soon. So this is one part where we are talking about success in general. Now let us talk about few takes for those people who are from the first generation and in law, are going to be in practice of law soon, or going to or already there in practice of law at this time. There are always some doubts coming in your mind. How would you forget about success? You will say, come on, you are talking about success, but we are not even able to sustain. Forget about the success. That's the first question that arises in my mind. You did not answer this. I understand. This is the first question. For so many people, what matters is sustenance plus. Sustenance is very, very important. We can't think of success, we can't think of art if we are struggling for the daily food. So we can only think of art when we are having that ease in living. So similarly, you can also think that we can only think of success when you are able to sustain. When I am able to sustain, then only I will think of success. I will correct you here. I would like to correct you here. There have to be certain short-term goals, certain mid-term goals. There have to be certain long-term and a long-term goal. That is the part of your success plan. A mid-term goal, that is part of it. The short-term goal could be to achieve that sustenance. And for that matter, whatever you have to do means, of course, you will have everyone, each of you would have a different surrounding. Each of you would have be confronting a different kind of obstacle or challenge. So there can't be one formula. But still, despite that, there can't be one formula. There is something that I can talk about and that can help you. What is important in sustenance? That you are able to understand, okay, I need a place to live. I need to have something to eat, that I am provided fully. There is no problem in my calibration in regard to my existence. There is no challenge to that effect. So how to remove those challenges and obstacles in basic sustenance? When you have no money from the family side, or when you have very less money from the family side, and then your expenses are more than what you are earning, or means maybe you are not earning at all, but at the same time you are a liability. You think that you are a liability from your parents. and your parents are having difficulty in giving you the money. So there are these kind of things which arise in mind at times, and then we feel okay, we are very much idealistic at the youth age. So therefore, we so many times think, okay, I don't want to take money from the parent. I don't want to take any obligation from anyone. So there are so many things. We idealize so many different things, and then we just keep it in our mind. We do not. We block our mind to allow any other idea to come, and at the same time, think that we are incapable to think of a solution to it. So the primary objective which you have to achieve with regard to achieving the sustenance, of course, again you have to build on a short-term plan. All that which I have already talked about, it has to be put into a very small space. So that is for a longer space. Then now this has to be everything of that has to be put in the smaller space. You must see around your surrounding. See what is the requirement of your sustenance and in how much bare minimum you can sustain. And apart from that, then you are pointing out to yourself, okay, my sustenance is this. So I will give you an example, like when I came into the field of law, because examples work better than mere teaching. So I decided at that time that there would be, say, particular 2,000 rupees per month. I would have this kind of, the spending every month, and not more than that I can do. So for that matter, to have my own budget, so I budgeted myself, and I would spend only within that budget. So fortunately, unfortunately for me, so half of my budget used to exhaust in phone calls. So therefore, I would not eat food or skip food at times at that time. And there was sometimes serious problem that I could not have exceeded my budget. So thereafter, there came a time when I would not be able to, support my food also. So, but at the same time, in the budget that I had, I took a mixer grinder from my family and took to the place where I work. So every day morning I had banana shake, mango shake, or something as my breakfast, which will catered me till my lunch. And during the time when it was 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so I used to have the sprouts. So I used to keep sprouts in my pocket. So whenever I am hungry, so I will eat those sprouts, various utensils. So the eating that, then thereafter in the evening, sometimes if I would have the money in my as per my budget, then I would eat food. And thereafter means came a time when I would have a dinner from a tiffin, so I would use the tiffin for the morning breakfast and lunch. So there were different intervals, different kinds of struggle at that time. So budget works very well. To understand what is your budget, how much you can spend in a day, don't overshoot, and just confine yourself to that element. If you need to ask for help, and there are people who are around you who can help, be open to ask for that help. Don't shy away to seek help from your own family as well. But at the same time, be always ready to deliver help to anyone around you, even at that time when it is so. So you will find some good companion, you will find some good friends, and mutually, it is more, the struggle is more in the mind than in the real fact. So if you overcome the struggle of your mind, the real fact struggle or the worldly struggle will be overcome at the same time. And you will find automatically the resources. You just need to think, my struggle should go, and it will go. But just merely saying that my struggle will go will not be enough. You will have to work on that as well. So I started going to see people. I started to sit in the court to watch which are the counsels who are arguing well. I would notify my own, in my notepad. Okay, these are the terms I have learned. These are the things I have learned. So I started law practice coming from Meerut without any resource, from a Meerut college only, no legal background, from Hindi medium. So there were so many obstacles in my way. So it was not easy for me to find an employment in a good office at that time. So how did I do it? I landed up with the office of Mr. Dipankar Gupta. He used to be Solicitor General of India. So how did I land up this kind of option or the career building office? So it was only sheer by way of doing this that I was not sitting at it. I thought, okay, let me work on for 3 months. So I created my budget for 3 to 6 months, and this was the money I had. So I segregated that money to each month, and I was not earning during that period at all. So I would go and sit in the courts. I would understand the legal terminology. I would understand how the arguments are taking place, how the briefs are being prepared, and at the same time, I will make my notes. The laws which I had heard about during the court hours, so I would go and consult those laws by sitting in the library. I'll make my notes on those laws as those legal provisions, judgments, and various things. Simultaneously, I created in that practice, I created another landmark important aspect of my own life. I started reading 3-4 judgments every day. So I worked on pulling the resource of knowledge inside my mind in those 3 to 6 months period. And that helped me in landing a good job. So by virtue of the college I was in, by virtue of the background I had, by virtue of my background in the school, my schooling, and by virtue of means I've been unknown to anyone in the legal sphere in Delhi or even my own place. So these obstacles were there. So I overcame those obstacles by way of preparation and made myself employable. So some of such things, or some of better things, or some other kind of things can also be done. Each one of you has to find your own answer. I am only trying to impress upon all of you to start looking for your own answer, because in my life, to every problem, there are at least 2 solutions. You need to find it. If you are able to find it, you become solution oriented, you become master of the problem. Until the time you don't find it, you are learning, as I thought. So I never thought, oh, what is happening with me in my life? I would never curse anyone. I would never curse my own life. I would always be very positive, focused. Okay, let me try to find a solution. If I'm not finding the solution, then I'm working on the solution. So that positivity and focus is very, very important aspect of life. And then with all that, so many things can be done and celebrated. So we all need to celebrate life first. We all need to celebrate the happiness surrounds us. I means when I was in college, I wrote, means I was not a poet, but I wrote a few lines, and it was in Hindi. So कांटों का है ये रास्ता बहारों में है सफर, कांटों का है ये रास्ता बहारों में है सफर, मंजिल है कितनी दूर न जानू जाना है किधर. आप समझे, कांटों का है रास्ता, जिस रास्ते पर हम चल रहे हैं उसमें सारे कांटे बिछे हुए हैं, जो मेरी उस लाइफ में उस समय में आई यूज्ड टू फील. और लेकिन सराउंडिंग्स वर वेरी हैप्पी. If I am not happy, but at the same time there are people around me who are very happy. So कांटों का है ये रास्ता बहारों में है सफर, मंजिल है कितनी दूर न जानू जाना है किधर. जानता हूँ कुछ तो जब मैं जानता हूँ ये कि बहारें जिंदगी है देती, लेकिन कांटे मौत नहीं देते. तो कहने का मतलब ये है कि कांटे, वो रास्ता कितना भी टफ हो, आई वुड बी स्टिल अलाइव. पर्सोनिफिकेशन वे में अगर देखा जाए तो जो हैप्पीनेस सराउंडिंग है हमारे, तो that will keep on bumping into the happiness repeatedly here and there. So and this will help you in growing your own self, in growing your career, in growing your surrounding, and growing your happiness all around. So with this, I will conclude today's address, and we will be soon taking the questions from all of you, and whoever has the desire to ask something, so I will be happy to respond. And at the same time, whoever would want to put the questions on our Venus Kutum account, we will also respond then in future.
Questions. So you
Yeah.
dictate the question.
Okay.
And
Yes. Sure.
you have the question?
Yeah. We have one question by Atul Diwan.
Mhm.
So he's asking that, sir, I have one question beyond the topic, as I just want to talk about your experience as an advocate and what age after completing your degree you started achieving success in life.
Oh, well, as I told you about some of the background of me, I argued my first matter in Supreme Court in 2000, then that's a reported judgment. So I started my practice in 99 and I landed in arguing my first matter before Supreme Court of India in 2000, and that's a reported judgment. And similarly, in 2001, I got another opportunity where I was in a party and someone asked me, "Okay, this is the matter they are handling with the Supreme Court." The party was very much there, and they were a big party. And I said to them, "Okay, if this matter is going on, then you must do these X, Y, Z things." They talked to their senior, and then the senior talked to me the very next day. He said, "Is it that it can happen?" I said, "Yes, it can happen." So this matter was being done by another very senior, counsel and very renowned personality. So they said, "Then in that case, you take this matter and then you achieve it for us." So they withdrew the matter from that senior personality and gave it to me, and then that's all. I mean, whatever I had said, fortunately we achieved it at that time, and we earned big fee in that matter. So it was a success started within the period of 2 years. So this is how it can be. Depends how much you are prepared. Every now and then there will be some knock at your door. Depends whether you are prepared to open the door or not. Whether you have the key to that success or not. So in life, don't think that there would be entire the moments would be filled with success completely. So there will be moments of sorrow, there will be moments of success. But there would be those moments which are coming, how you respond, it depends on that. I think that should be suffice.
Absolutely, sir. There was one more question. Soeb Khan was asking that how to get into top tier law firms without having a non-NLU degree.
As I told you, if suppose you are having non-NLU degree, their preferred cause is that they would have interns from NLUs, and if suppose they are not having interns from NLUs, then from some references or your work experience as an intern, what you have done, or if suppose you are not talking about internship, then in that case, if suppose you are talking about the employability, then how much you have achieved in whatever you were doing. So it depends, everything depends on your own calibration or your own intelligence in the area of law that you are practicing. So why it is a difficult task to achieve internship in the law firms when you are non-NLE, because then it is only usually through the references. With regard to employability, you can achieve that employability by way of working on yourself in the beginning area. If you work well with yourself in the beginning area, create yourself a good resource. Then during the interviews, you can land the job. It's that simple. I'm telling you, everyone needs a good concept. Everyone needs a good workman.
There's one more question from Jodhajit. How to get into arbitration? Will an LLM in if I'm not wrong, I'll just rephrase. How to get into arbitration? Will an LLM in arbitration from a top national law university help in any way?
Yeah, it can surely help in landing you a job in a firm with LLM. And arbitrations in the ad hoc environment, legal councils are there. In the institutional arbitration, majorly law firms are there. So it will certainly help you if you are doing LLM from a reputed NGO. Then in that case, it should help. And you must prepare well, do well. At the same time, apart from education, you must also develop the functional and working knowledge of arbitrations. Must attend the arbitrations in effect. If suppose you can attend the arbitration from beginning to end, so that you understand all the process. It is as simple as you're dealing with litigation.
I think that is it with the questions. Let me just see. Yeah. Yes, that is it with the questions. We don't have any other questions, right?
So all right means whenever we will get the question further and we will answer you in this way. So till then, we will see you soon and goodbye. Namaskar.
Left. कितने हैं? काफी लोग हैं आज लाइव पे.
तुम्हारे इसमें क्या हो गया थे?